or to try the yarn wraps or the, I guess, the fake locks or the lock extensions, whatever you want to call them. I decided to give those a try. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I really like the yarn braids. So, but the takedown with the yarn braids, it just takes so long. But I love the look of it, so I thought I would give these a try, and I figured that the takedown wouldn't be as bad as the yarn braids since you're not really braiding the whole thing. So this is what I have so far. I have 2 left, so I'm going to show you guys what I've been doing. Now my hair has already been stretched from a previous braid out I was wearing for a few days. My hair is also moisturized, but I have been adding a little bit of the deep treatment mask as I've been going along to each piece. So just taking a little bit and putting it through my hair. The yarn that I'm using is just some old, not old yarn, but some yarn that I had from a previous set of yarn braids that I've done. And I pre-cut the yarn. And I pre-cut the yarn not thinking that my hair had grown. Like, my hair is a lot longer now than it was the last time that I did yarn braids. So I actually think I should have cut the yarn longer, but I didn't. So I've just been working with what I have and just making it work, just adjusting the yarn to fit so that it will work. So this is a piece that I'm going to do. What I do is start with 2 pieces of yarn, and I cross them over each other. And since I pre-cut the yarn, and the yarn, like, if I made it even, like, it would be too short. It wouldn't cover all my hair. So I have to make one of the pieces really short, or 2 of the. I have to make 2 of them basically really short. So 2 have to be short, and then the other 2 are long. That's how I've been doing it. Okay, so this is what I do. I take this, take the hair that I'm using, attach the yarn to it, and then I start acting like I'm going to braid, you know, using my hair as a third piece. I start braiding. But I only braid for a second, like basically just twist the yarn around. And then I take one of the long pieces of yarn, remove it from the pack, and like set it off to the side. And then I continue braiding with my hair and the remaining 3 pieces of yarn. And I only braid down maybe an inch. And I just make sure that the hair or the yarn is pretty snug to my scalp. Not too tight though. You don't want it to be too tight. But like I said, braid down about an inch. So that's good. And then I just combine all the pieces along with my hair. So this is what I have here. I still have this 1 piece of yarn off to the side that I'm not using. So what I do at this point is I take the yarn that I have off to the side and I begin wrapping it around the base. Wrapping it around the base. Wrap it around, wrap it around. And you don't want it to be super tight to the base of your head, but you want it to be close enough so, you know, it's believable. So that's all you do, and then you just continue wrapping the yarn around, holding your hair in your hand, just wrapping it around, wrapping it around. And then every once in a while, I just push the yarn up to make sure that it's nice and snug. There's no gaps in between the yarn, because if it's gaps in between the yarn, then of course it's not gonna look authentic. So gotta make sure that the yarn is nice and tight to each other as you go around. So you just go around, basically all the way to the end. Well, not all the way to the end, because this piece of yarn isn't gonna last all the way to the end, but while I'm going down, let me just tell you, this is taking me, today is Sunday. I started my hair on Friday night. So I did probably like 2 hours on Friday night. Then Saturday, I think I braided for another, I braided like all day, it seems like, on Saturday. But I didn't. I mean, I was taking breaks and stuff, so it wasn't like all day straight. But I guess I thought initially that these were going to be a lot quicker than the yarn braids, just because I'm not actually braiding like the whole thing. Like, you're just braiding that little piece and then you're just twisting the yarn around. But that's not been the case. It's taken me just as long to do these as it takes me to do yarn braids. So by the time I finish these two, it probably will be a good 20 hours that it's taking me to do these. And I didn't even do these as small as I do my yarn braids. I consciously made an effort to do them larger, but it still has been taking me forever. This whole like wrapping process is like really long and tedious. So you just want to make sure that you, like, there's one piece of yarn here is like ending, so you just want to make sure that you get it in there and it's not like sticking out. So you want to make sure it's nice and tight. Now I know this piece of yarn is not going to last. It's not going to be able to twist all the way down to the bottom, so I'm getting ready to actually switch pieces of yarn and use the other long piece of yarn to finish it out. And what I do is like usually just take this and like kind of measure it against the rest of them. I mean, they're all uneven. They're not all the same length. But that's cool because, I mean, real locks are not all the same length usually. So I'm just going to stop it, I think, right here. Stop. So this piece, I still have this remaining on this piece of yarn, but I'm going to stop using this piece of yarn. And then I'm going to switch over to the other long piece of yarn. So as you can see, my hair is still here, so I still haven't wrapped all my hair yet. So basically I just switch the hair over and then just take the other piece of yarn and then just keep doing the same thing, just twisting it around. I don't tie it or anything like that. I just make sure it's nice and snug up against the other piece and just keep twisting around, and you can't even really tell that I've switched pieces of yarn because it's so seamless in the way it's done that you can't even see that I've switched it. So just switch that, keep going down, going down, going down. So like I said, these take a while, but I'm just sure that the takedown is not going to be as bad with these because you're not braiding. So, and I did burn the ends, but I'll show you that in a second if I ever make it to the end. And like I said, every once in a while I'll push back up just to make sure it's all snug and there's no gaps in between the yarn here. of hard to explain how to do it, I guess, because it's just, my technique is weird, right? I don't know. But I don't know if I explained it well, but hopefully you understand what I did. I'll show you another one once I get finished this one, the last one. So my hair stops about probably like right here. But you can't tell or anything. I'm just kind of measuring it against the rest of them, but like I said, they're all uneven, so it really doesn't matter. It's not going to be the same length, but just get it. So I'm going basically all the way down to the bottom of this piece of yarn, and then I'm going to tie it, knot it, make sure it's nice and tight, snip these ends off under the knot. Take my handy dandy lighter and just burn that real quick. And that is it. I guess because they're so tight, like as you can see, like I look like Pippi Longstocking, like you just mold them and bend them. But this is it. Pretty sure they will loosen up hopefully as time goes on. I will be styling them and all that kind of good stuff. So this is it, and I'm liking them so far. Planning on keeping these in hopefully for about a month and a half at least, especially since it took me forever to do them. Keep them in for at least a month and a half. So this is my yarn braids, or my yarn locks, or lock extensions, whatever you want to call them. So if you have any questions, I hope that I explained it good enough for you to understand what I was doing. But if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comment box, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Alright guys, I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.